What's up, everybody? This is Zach with Nerd Cave Plus. Today, January 25th, 2018, and I'm joined along with none other than the bearded sultan himself,
Roberto Rose.
Leon.
Robert Leon. Leon. I'm Robbie. What's up, guys?
Robbie, how's it going, my friend?
It's going good. I'm very excited to be. This is my first.
You're first.
My first Nerd Cave Plus NCP. I'm excited. I know it's been a brainchild of yours for a while, and I know we've talked about it, a few times. And I'm like, I felt like this is something that we could have.
Mm-hmm.
We've needed.
Yes.
We've needed to be able to, kind of separate, because you have people that come here for movie news.
Yes.
Well, now they get movie news and everything else. Well, and there's people who are give me more games.
Yeah.
Well, this is the be-all
End-all
answer that we've given you guys. We have split it up. Nerd Cave Podcast, Nerd Cave Plus, and I'm excited to be here because right after this we get to go into streaming.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad you're here, man.
I'm glad I'm here.
Before we get into all the stuff, let's do some housekeeping, okay? Second episode we're in. We have this on podcast services around the globe. All you have to do is go to your podcast service, put Nerd Cave Plus in. It'll pop up. You'll see our little plus symbol down there and all that good stuff. Boom. Subscribe.
It's a pretty sick logo, too.
Pretty sick logo. Review it. Go ahead and leave a review because you know it's awesome. It's a Nerd Cave product. We might have technical difficulties, but
from time to time.
But it's an awesome product nonetheless. As well, if you have a question, if you have feedback for the show, or a correction. Did I say correction? Say
No.
Question, feedback, correction.
There you
We
go.
have 3 sections that you can fill out. All you have to do right now is go over to nerdcavenetwork.com/nerdcaveplus.
Yes.
I'm going to make that a little bit simpler after this episode. For next week, it'll be NCP, but right now it's Nerd Cave Plus. So that's the way you get your questions. Don't editorialize them. Be like, well, this is my opinion. Just ask your question, okay?
Yeah.
Same thing with corrections. Don't be like, you're an idiot. This is what I think. Give me facts. The facts, man. Just
Cold,
the facts.
hard facts.
That's all we want. That's all we want.
Because we're human. Everyone's infallible.
Yeah, it's kind of like Pardon the Eruption. That's how I think of it.
And that's one of my favorite shows. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you've mirrored it because I do feel
Yeah.
like that. I'm just waiting for the ding.
One day, we just need someone to like run all of this side of things,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can just sit here and just read the stuff. But we come to you live each and every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:00 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all the streaming services. You just look for us, and we're there. We're like our faces up on the glass, and we're just breathing heavy.
We're like those guys from Friends. We'll be there for you.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you. Like I was there before.
I don't know. I've heard it before, but
It's a great show.
I've heard it a lot. I don't know the words.
I love it.
You at least got me not to meow. So
It's from the show.
I know what that means.
I don't. I completely forgot.
That's not a good thing.
Oh, I take it back.
All right. So each and every Tuesday and Thursday we go live for you. If you don't catch us live, then you can watch us on the replay on all of that, or you can check us out on podcast services. This podcast today is brought to you by patreon.com/nerdcave, but we'll talk to you more about that after. Actually, later on in the show. Not after.
Not after anything, just
Not
later.
after. Yeah, later. All right, guys. Robbie, what you been playing, my man?
Man, I've been playing a mixture of a few things. The one thing that I got, and I have to say I got back into because Lord knows it's been a while since we've played this game.
Yeah.
Long time. And that, talking about OG Xbox old.
Yeah.
I got done reading the Old Republic books and talking about Canderous and I was like, where's Mandalorian's mask? I was like, I can't do it. So $10, I went and bought the first one, and I've been playing through it. Clunky as all get out.
Oh, yeah.
But still
so good.
Still so dang good. If you haven't played it, visually stunning, No.
No,
At the time,
yes.
Not anymore.
Now it's like poo smeared against the wall.
Like, the mechanics in fighting is still really, like I said, clunky. But the story, just the in-depth Star Wars story that you're getting from Revan and Malik, and I mean, you're learning about all these different people. You're teaming up with a Wookiee, a Twi'lek, a Mandalorian,
The cat girl.
John.
I can't remember what her race is, but there's so many different races.
And I mean, it's just a great story, and it's a lot of fun. You get to craft your own lightsaber, and just you with my guy. I first time I ever played through it, I was really good. The closest I got to the dark was I was a gray Jedi, the neutral. I was able to do both sides of the Force.
Yeah,
but I never delved into the dark side.
The dark side is the best side. I'm
Oh, I know.
like it's so much more fun. I'm just I just love Of course, in real life, I wouldn't kick a puppy, but in a video game, I'd kick a puppy.
But been playing that, and definitely been playing Pubg.
Yeah, which is in the news.
Which is in the news. We're talking about it.
Yeah,
but me, Willis, and Marshall, and Jake, we've talked. For a game that's so much fun,
it'd be so clunky.
it is so horrible. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like literally, I played yesterday, and I was trying to get into a house, and it was just a giant clay blob, and there was no doors or windows that I could get into. So I had to wait for the game to catch up. So it turned into a house. I'm like, this is the biggest pile of poo I've ever.
Oh my god,
like,
that's hilarious.
I know it's still in early access in the preview program, and like they're updating it. I feel like almost weekly or every other.
They're doing a good job to continually progress it,
and that's all we can ask for because it's still so much fun. You get dropped into a Hunger Game-esque survival area.
Yeah, and it's those moments like a lot of the times you're just kind of like going from here to there or whatever, but it's those moments like when you see somebody, your heart starts racing.
Exactly.
And it's like, do I shoot them? Do I just like sit here and just wait?
And it's so much fun. And like the little things that just make the game so fun. I'll tell you 2 quick stories and I'll be done with it. One, it was me, Willis, and Jake's. We squatted up.
Squad goals.
Yep. Me and Jake is in this house, and Willis, he's like, hey guys, I found a motorcycle. So we're like, okay. Next thing I know, Willis is trying to drive the motorcycle into the house. Well, Willis is stuck between, like, going through a door, and he couldn't get it all the way through, so it's like half in one room, half in the other.
Yeah.
Jake gets the bright idea, which I would be curious too. He shuts the door on the motorcycle. Motorcycle explodes, killing Willis.
So you lose one of your teammates.
I lose one of my teammates right off the bat. And that's something that's really fun. And
killing your teammate?
And like I've done it a few times. Like when your heart's racing, I've killed some people and then on accident. But
when your heart's racing,
second funniest thing, it's thinking about it, it's really bad. But me and Willis, obviously, we jumped out of the plane.
Yeah.
All we have is our fist.
Yeah.
And we see this woman run into the house, and she's like in the bathroom, and me and Willis pile into the room. She can't get out. And me and Willis just go, pop, 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 pop. We beat her, and she's over here crawling. We're just like, I was like, me and Willis will like we'll be playing, we'll still just randomly bust out laughing because of just those 2 moments, and there's plenty more to go with it.
And the I've only played PUBG once. Okay, it was on our best of 2007 stream. The little bit I played, I could see why it's so addictive to people and why people want to continue to keep coming back. Me and Adam played on the live stream. We're number 2. Almost got a chicken dinner, but we went hungry that night. But it was fun.
It is. I've had 2 chicken dinners since I've played, and like top 10 finishes, especially when you're that top 2, and you're like that circle is so close, like you're freaking out, like you're like, am I going to get it? And you're so excited that you're about to get it, and then your nerves get the best of you, and then
those nerves.
But it's for what it is, especially in early access. It's such a good game.
Yeah, Well, I haven't had time to play anything, so there's my what I've played. But speaking of PUBG, let's jump into the news because PUBG has made the news.
Yes, it has.
PUBG hits 4 million players on Xbox One. Battle points will be awarded in February to players who register by January 31st. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has passed.
You'll get 30,000 battle points.
I'm assuming that's a lot.
It is.
That's good. So there you go. Get it, and you'll be able to be rewarded. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has passed a huge milestone on Xbox One. The Battle Royale game has now 4 million players on Xbox One, PUBG Corp has announced. As previously reported, PUBG broke 3 million Xbox One players less than 1 month after its December 12th release, meaning it's gained another million in just a few weeks. To celebrate the milestone, PUBG is giving Xbox One players 30,000 free battle points, which can be used to purchase cosmetic loot boxes.
You're not getting anything good. You're just getting. I mean, you could potentially get something good, but you're not getting weapons or anything like that.
Yeah, because weapons, it's all in game. It's like your cosmetic side of things.
My Asian guy with a fro. That's my character. I was able to get a really sick beanie, so I had to.
Oh man,
I had to. Somehow my fro fit under my beanie. In real life, there's no way it's fitting.
Yeah,
but
you have to get one of those really you have like the tight beanie, and then you have like the loose beanie that kind of leans back. That's the beanie. That's
not the one that I have.
You have the tight beanie.
Yes,
like the prison beanie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't
know what that means.
My avatar, like Jake, compares him to the Asian guy from Lost. I don't know if you've watched Lost.
Never watched Lost.
But all the Lost fans, if you know what I'm talking about, that's who my guy looks like. I think his name was like Kim.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, PUBG. I mean, just for being out, I mean, you're looking at
December 12th. It is currently January 25th.
So a little over a month and a half.
Yeah,
and you've hit 4 million copy. Like that is,
dude. Like any game, any publisher would be excited about that number.
And that's why they're putting so much more back into this game. That's why they're rewarding you with 30,000 battle points. That's why just about every week you're getting an update to this game. They've even cracked down on cheating. Like if they see you cheating, they have so much money already like coming from this game that they're able to. Oh, you're caught cheating? You're done for good. You're not getting back on with your.
And there's no reason not to do that. Like if you're cheating, you're taking the pleasure from somebody else playing the game, and you're potentially going to cost them money down the road. So just do right there.
One of the things that I saw with cheating is this guy has a scope on a SK-12, which is the automatic shotgun.
Yeah,
and he's zooming in, fire, zoom, fire, and like he's just spinning around doing that, and it's shooting people through a wall like across the map. And that's some of the cheating that we're seeing is different things like that.
Wow, that sounds like totally crazy.
Bonkers. Yeah, like he was shooting with a shotgun with a scope on it, which you can put a scope on the SK-12, but
across the map
and through walls. Like you can shoot through doors, but you can't shoot somebody through a wall. And so I mean, there's different things like that they're cracking down on. But you've even seen a few cosmetic upgrades here and there. Like nothing is going to be as good as what the PC is because they're a full year ahead of us. But I mean, every week you're coming out with something different. They've made it to where you can toggle your grenades because I know that was annoying for me because I still like to throw grenades. I would have my smoke grenade on there and I have to go into my inventory, click it out.
Yeah.
But now I think it's right on the D-pad. Is selecting your grenades, but if you tap it again, it switches to your grenades.
Okay.
So little things like that's just making the game better. Is what I'm excited for, and I know me and a few of my friends get on. You need to get on with us too sometime because it's just so much fun.
Yeah, that plethora of time.
I know. I'm saying when you find time, I'll play with you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Speaking of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, they're making some changes,
and this is a very good change.
This is a good change. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is all about putting 100 people and all that good stuff. For those unfamiliar with the game, pregame lobbies would put all the players in a match in a small area.
Very small area, which means servers are like, ah!
So 100 people in a small area, and you could do pretty much
Anything you want.
You could run around in your underwear. You could punch people. You could swim. You could shoot guns. You could, make a conga line. Whatever you wanted to do.
Yep.
It was possible in this. But it definitely had a toll on the servers, and loading into the game definitely took a lot longer.
And I think that's why you see, like when I talked about the clay house, I think that's where a lot of that's coming from. It's having to kind of catch up with it. That's why when you load into a game, sometimes you'll see, like I said, clay houses, or you'll walk into a house that has nothing, and you turn around, and then boom, everything loads.
The pop-in. Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
And it's a neat idea. It really is a cool idea to have everybody in one area and everything, but the load that it takes on the actual performance of the game definitely is a detractor of it.
Yeah, very much.
So the new pregame lobbies separate things up, isolating smaller numbers of players in different parts of the island without having everyone out at once, and completely removes firearms. According to Pub Corp, this should improve the network performance during an actual match. And they said this: lots of interaction among multiple players in such a small area had a high impact on servers. To solve this, we have introduced multiple areas where players gather before the match starts. So I think that's a good way to do it. Get people together, like your team there, you can, that sort of deal. Or, like,
I mean, even if they split it into 3 different sections on the map that you're putting the people in, even just, 3 different loadouts, that's going to just relieve so much stress on it. But I could probably see like maybe 5 or 6. Like,
I was thinking about 5. 5 would be a good.
You have about 15 to 20 people in your area. I mean, that's not going to put too much of a strain on the servers. But when you're putting 100 in one small area where literally, I went and got a gun and I practiced shooting, making sure, just kind of see how things are. I've practiced my Superman punches. I've practiced, you do anything you want. And that does take such a toll on it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that they're making some changes on it to improve it for everybody else. Now, speaking of another game that is making some improvements on its online presence, is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is revamping their progression, and reveal is coming in March. EA announced it's implementing changes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 progression system based on player feedback. In its announcement, EA calls changes significant, and they address many of the things players have asked for. Details on changes aren't coming until March, so this is merely a tease of things to come. In short term, EA announced a new limited time mode coming in February called Jetpack Cargo. This game mode sees 2 teams of 8 players equipped with jetpacks compete against one another in their EA calls a frantic, fast-paced way to play. And then there's a new season is coming soon. No hard dates and all of that. So do you think with EA making these changes that to the progression system and all that, which has really done a toll on what this game can be, do you think it's going to bring people back or get people interested at all?
I think it will bring back a little bit of interest. Will it bring a lot of people back to the game? Not 100% sure. I know I may have played maybe an hour and a half of the game, and I haven't played since. Now that I know that they are revamping some things in there, I, for one, think it's worth going back in there and trying to check it out and see and try to get a better, I guess, grasp on what the game is and what it could be.
Yeah.
Because, we all love Star Wars, and, no, it will not be the Battlefront that we want.
Yeah.
But it is still it can be a fun Star Wars game. Mm-hmm. So I think knowing what's coming and what's going to be coming out with this game, I think I would give it a second chance.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how close it is to the first Battlefront, like the revamped 2015 version, that it would be. I thought they had a pretty good balance of everything. After a while, I lost interest because it was such a small game. Like, this has a lot of potential to it, and they're clearly doing things like in seasons and doing different game modes and all of that, like this jetpack cargo.
Yeah.
But I think they've burned the bridge so much that the bridge is burned and the ashes are there, and like there's smoke in the air, and no one's even looking back. at this point. I'm glad that they're trying, but I don't think a lot of people are going to give them the time of day at this point.
I think it's going to be very selective, the people who do come back. Like people who didn't give it the full chance at the beginning, who might, like kind of like me, who kind of still want to see what the game can be. But like your people who've already sunk countless hours into it and are just burnt out. I mean, I wouldn't see them coming back.
Yeah.
I think you missed your chance.
Yeah, the launch window is such a pivotal point for a video game that after months, it's hard to get that pushback. So unless something major, like they're giving like actual free stuff, not just like game modes. I'm talking about like some bigger items or whatever to get people interested, or free copies or something. I don't think they're going to see droves of people coming back to the game.
I agree, 100%.
So, but I'm glad that they're at least trying something.
Yeah.
Because it definitely needed to happen.
I agree.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
Oh, God.
Speaking of roller coasters, Roller Coaster Tycoon seeks crowdfunding for Switch version. You see that segue?
I did. Bit forced.
You know, Atari has launched a crowdfunding campaign to bring a new Roller Coaster Tycoon game to Nintendo Switch. The campaign is on Start Engine platform, where Atari is seeking between $10,000 and $1.7 million. The studio behind the free-to-play Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch will be developing this new entry in the long-running series. Investors will participate in a revenue share, be kept informed about the game's development, and potentially become involved in future Atari projects. For a full detailed breakdown of the investor perks, visit the campaign and check out the video pitch. A lot of games do these Kickstarter, crowdfunding things, but this is interesting because this is almost like what Double Fine has done in the past when they've done like this Kickstarter type deal, that the people actually own a part of the game or have like stock in the game. And I think that makes it a little bit more than just, hey, here's $10, go make your game, man.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more special to you.
Yeah, and seeing that they're going to give people updates, that they're going to get revenue from this, so putting more money towards it. And if you don't know, Switch games are selling like crazy.
Yeah, like, I mean, I have a half a mind right now to go put not a full mind yet. I'm still, a little frugal sometimes. Yeah. But like I would donate some money towards it because you can essentially get kickback off of it.
Yeah, you could if it did well, and a lot of Switch games are selling really well because there's so many people hungry for games on the platform.
And Roller Coaster Tycoon is just one of those awesome idea of a game, because I know the old games on computers were a lot of fun because you got to build your own land. And I think anytime you're bringing something in that you can build a civilization, a Roller Coaster Tycoon park, like I think that has a lot of pull in. I mean, you look at Fallout when they added in the build your own place. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of games that are like that where you're able to build your own community, your own whatever. It just makes it more you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you look at Switch's high-selling digital game for last year was Stardew Valley. That was the highest-selling digital game, and it's because people love those just kind of relaxing, build your own thing, create your own space and all of that. That's why a lot of people love Animal Crossing. So this would be an interesting way to do. It's not necessarily, I think that's why Minecraft has done so well, that it's just this build at your own rate, do your kind of thing. Like, I would love to play it, and I think it would be really cool. So
I'd be down.
I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of the Switch, there's a 512 gigabyte micro SD card announced. It's likely compatible with the Nintendo Switch. At 500 gigabytes, it's the largest capacity micro SD card ever created, and it's also almost certainly will work with Nintendo Switch. However, it hasn't been tested yet, which is why we are not saying that it's almost certainly. Okay, the card conforms to the micro SD XC standard, which is the same standard the Nintendo Switch is designed to work with. In fact, the Nintendo Switch will work with micro SD cards up to 2 terabytes when our future scientists and engineers figure out how to make them. Now, I bought my first SD card for my Switch.
Yep.
I got like 32 gigs. Some of these games, like, they're so huge that it would, like, one game would fill that up.
Dang.
So getting a 512 gigabyte SD card, I think it's going to be really cool to be able to, and once it's confirmed that it will work, being able to use that in that will make it almost the same size as our 500 gigabyte terabytes. Lord God. 500 gigabyte hard drives that have been in the original PlayStation 4 and the original Xbox Ones. So it kind of put us in the same place and everything. So I'm interested to see where that's going to go. Moving on, though, there's another interesting thing that has been developed, and I'm curious to see what you think about it. Ubisoft Club debuts Sam AI gaming assistant in closed beta. Ubisoft has introduced Sam, a personal AI gaming assistant, which helps players as a new addition to the Ubisoft Club app. Ubisoft is encouraging players to more regularly engage in their Ubisoft Club account by conversing with a chatting new AI, Sam. The Ubisoft Personnel Gaming Assistant, Sam, is available in closed beta starting today in Canada as a new aspect of the Ubisoft Club mobile. Using both in-app text chat as well as voice-to-text options, players can interact with Sam, who tracks progression in all games linked to the player's account across all platforms. Sam can be used to check in-game stats, say like your KD ratio and Rainbow Six, that sort of deal, or find out how much of Egypt you've explored in Assassin's Creed Origin. With a simple question, but Sam truly aims to be an assistant and not just a stat tracker, as IGN has shown in the pre-release demo. So, what do you think about this? Like, do you think this is something that people will latch onto that will kind of set Ubisoft up for this? It's something. It's definitely different than any AAA. Skynet.
This is how Skynet's born. I thought it would be Facebook.
Well, we had Siri for a very long time.
No, I like the idea behind it. I think every time.
Every time, Mom. Every time. I want to almost take it.
But I think the idea behind this could be freaking amazing. Mm-hmm. There's times when I'm like, I'm wondering if it might even help you get to like the next point of something. Like, hey,
try this.
But I love being able to keep up with my stats and everything like that, because I know, it's important in games like Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG. I mean, even Assassin's Creed, trying to keep up with different things. I think a virtual assistant is a good idea, but we just kind of have to see how the beta goes and see what it does.
Yeah. Well, Ubisoft Club is such a non-use thing. Like I know they're trying to bring people into it, but I know I definitely don't use it unless I want to like purchase something. Like I purchased like Ezio and Altair and oh Lord, who was the first one? Altair was the first one. Ezio. There was another one. I can't remember who it was.
Connor.
Anyway, no, it wasn't Connor. Lord God, I wouldn't buy Connors. Anyway, there was a third one, but I had to go through the club to buy them with my Ubisoft credits.
Same thing with the Division. I had to do that as well.
And it was just like, okay, I only do this when I absolutely have to, or I'm curious what's in there and to see if I can use it in game and everything. So I'm glad that they're trying to put more out there to get more people enticed to use the club function and everything, but I don't think it will really take off unless they do a great job of integrating it in their games.
I agree.
And I know with like stat tracking and everything, I remember, I think it was Gears of War 2 or 3 started like tracking your kills and all of that throughout it and like how you did this, that, or another.
Yeah.
And like it would show up in the bottom of the screen. Like I love that kind of information. Like, oh, you've chainsawed this many people this far away from like getting an achievement.
Even doing something like competitive, because I know with me and you, I think it was Halo 3 that lets you see how many points you got for, like, headshots. And everything.
Yeah.
And it showed you and your your friend who's playing with you. Because we'd get done with a match and I'd be like, oh, what now? And then you'd be ahead in the next match. You'd be like, what's up? And like those
it's
things.
That competition.
Yeah, and like healthy competition is so much fun.
Yeah,
because I remember doing that with you. I mean, I did that with a lot of friends, and that's the fun part of gaming. Like even Gamerscore, we did it, but like
definitely with Gamerscore.
But like, just doing something like that would be just awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of Ubisoft, South Park: The Stick of Truth will be available standalone on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, when the pre-order for The Fractured Butthole came out, they had a thing where you could get The Stick of Truth if you pre-ordered it on your console. It has not been available for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as a standalone thing until now. So when I read this, I'm like, it's been on there. What are you talking about? But you had to have that game to have the other game. The game, previously included as a bonus, will be available for $30, which is really good. I'm glad that they're making it at a cheaper rate, and will launch on February 13th. The Stick of Truth, of course, was released back in 2014, which I really enjoyed it. I never finished it.
Yeah.
It was funny. Kids don't play it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, be careful who you let play it.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a while before we play this game. BioWare reportedly is focusing majority of the team on Anthem for early 2019 release. Now, I don't even have to really read any of this. Let's just talk about it. Did you think that Anthem was going to come in 2018?
Not even a little bit. Like, I think maybe like 1% of my soul was like, please?
And like, it would have been awesome, but I think if they would have released it, would have been crap.
And I know we've talked multiple times about how, if a game is being delayed, we're more along the side of okay with it.
Yeah.
Because we want a polished product.
We don't want a polished turd.
We don't want a turd that we have to polish later, because a polished turd is still a turd.
Yeah, and so many games release and try that.
Exactly.
And they lose so many people because of that.
And it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Looking at you, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and like, I'm okay with it being 2019. I mean, I realistically, that's where I saw this coming out anyway. Like, I would have been shocked beyond belief if it did come out in 2018, because it's such a huge game. It's going to have so many different things going on at a time, and BioWare has to be careful, because it doesn't seem like they've been hitting full throttle with their games that have been coming out.
Yeah, you definitely could see that the majority of the team has already been working on Anthem for a while, and they had another team work on Mass Effect Andromeda, and there is a lot of ill will for BioWare. BioWare is on thin ice right now.
Yeah.
And I love BioWare. I don't want to see them go anywhere, but EA's track record is very apparent that, hey, if you're not making money,
you're gone.
We're going to close you. So I'm glad that they're taking time on it. I think once people get a hold of it and they start playing with it, they're going to be like, man, this is a really cool game. It's definitely BioWare. The story's there, all of this. I hope they don't do what Destiny has done and make microtransactions such a huge part of it. And Destiny is losing revenue right now because of how they've handled their microtransactions recently. So I just hope they take a page from, look at Star Wars Battlefront, look at all these other loot boxes, see how it's not working out. Look at Overwatch. Yes, they have microtransactions. They do a good job with it. Let's back off.
PUBG too.
Yeah, I haven't really played PUBG that much.
PUBG, like, you just get battle points from playing the game, and you can go unlock.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can buy.
I'm sure you probably could, but it does nothing for you in the game.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's all cosmetic. I am not a proponent for microtransactions. Just putting that.
No, yeah, there. We're not. No, we're not a fan of them.
Some people are like, did he? What is?
Did he just condone?
Zach? No, I've never condoned them. Never will. Time for our sponsor before we get into the last two articles and then releases. Patreon.com/nerdcave is today's sponsor of Nerd Cave Plus. All you have to do, guys, go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Check it out. See what you like. If you want to donate and help us out, that's awesome. It's like a subscription. We put out awesome content each and every week. This week's been jam-packed.
Yeah.
They got an episode of the podcast 4 or 5 days early. They got a round table, and they might get another round table.
Yeah, like
they've been getting a ton of stuff.
where
And they're fixing to get a bonus segment and a bonus video. That's
I gotta
5
say
things.
we're treating them nice.
Yeah, we're treating everybody really well over there. And for the people that have supported us over at Patreon, thank you very much. They have made this possible. I just noticed there's only one thing up there because Allie took everything back home.
It's okay. It's okay. We're good. It's okay.
but
It's good here.
Thank you. You can go over to patreon.com/nerdcave. Check it out. See what you like. If you like it, then toss $1 and make Robbie. What was that? Sweet whatever.
It's a sweet one.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Speaking of a sweet one, Uncharted director and Dead Space producer have joined the Avenger Project game.
This game excites me. Like, we're not hearing anything huge about this game. Like, it's still such a secret, and secrets tear at my soul because I want to know what they are. Like, if I see someone look at me and then, like, talk quietly, there's nothing more in the world that I want than to know what they're talking about. I do love Holly. That wasn't a secret. But no, like that it's huge. Like and it's the Avengers. Like I know we had so many of the the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, which
I'm curious to see how, like, if it's going to be something like that or what.
Like, because we've had those, we've had the X-Men games that were like the almost exact same thing, and even if they mirror it or they come out with something completely different, like maybe a first-person kind of thing with like,
I'm curious to see what it's going to be because they're bringing in people from Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is like king of storytelling.
Yeah, and like. That's something that we need. I know the Ultimate Alliance games didn't get huge into story. Like, sometimes it was just kind of
Fing Fang Foom.
all over the place. Like, why am I fighting Fing Fang Foom on the helicarrier? Different things like that.
Yeah.
And I know the second one got better because it was talking about the nanites and the they're choosing the sides and everything. But like, there's so many great stories in the Marvel universe and the DC universe. Like, you could play on so many different things that could just appeal to the nerds. Because, I mean, a lot of times if you associate gaming, you're also going to be associating with comics.
Other things, yeah. It's hard to separate that.
And, like, I'm okay with that. I love both worlds. And mixing them all into one is, I mean, just beautiful. And I think that this has such a...
has potential.
Such great potential to be an amazing game that I really want to play.
Yeah. Just a little... Man, I'm tired of somebody inviting me to things I don't want to go to. The former Uncharted director, Sean Segi, I don't know how to say his last name, and Stephen Barry have joined the Avengers Project. Sean will be the team's creative director, and Barry will serve as director of production. Sean is the creative director and writer of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy and worked on The Last of Us as the director of photography and animation supervisors. And Barry has held several positions at Electronic Arts, with his latest role at the company being the director of product development at Visceral Games. Crystal's been around almost as long as I've been in business. The chemistry and camaraderie has been exactly what I hoped for, Barry had said. That's exciting for me that these people have been able to, especially with the Visceral game guy, Barry, being able to jump from visceral game closing to go to Crystal and just be part of a team, feel the camaraderie and everything, and be making something awesome. Like, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice story.
It is. BioWare is back in the news, but it's good. I think it's good. Next Dragon Age will be a live game. BioWare's Casey Hudson has said that in development, Dragon Age game will be a live experience, which means designing a game for continued story playing after the main story. Reading on Twitter, Hudson confirmed the game will remain story and character focused, but added the idea that it being a live afterwards. Reading lots of feedback regarding Dragon Age, and I think you'll be relieved to see what the team is working on, story and character focus. Too early to talk details, but when we talk about live, it just means designing a game for continued storytelling after this main story. Now, one thing that really interests me is it doesn't sound like it's going to be a game for service type model.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a thing that is going to be able to push new content continually, put out new missions, put out new things all the time.
Like, and even the old Dragon Age games were very good about keeping content flowing. There's still content in Origins that I haven't played.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do want to one day, once I catch up on my ever-growing backlog, I want to play. And I want to play through those stories because, I mean, even Allie told me that they were great. So, I mean, if it's going to continue to build on to the game, like you get done with the main quest and you're still going to have things to do after, that's the game that I love, because that's a game where if I'm like, oh, I got 20 minutes before I have to go somewhere, I can play PUBG or I can go and play the Dragon Age game, or do a quick little thing and be done.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sometimes that's what you need after a long day when you're...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know with, having, significant others, sometimes we're having to go do things right after we get off of work and everything like that, and you're like, okay, she's doing her shower, she's going to put up makeup, I got 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me play something real quick. Let me kill something or shoot somebody, make me feel better.
Do something,
Oh, yeah.
And I that's one thing, and I know I've talked about Destiny and all of that, but that's one thing that I really enjoyed about Destiny back in the day, where you could jump in, do a little quick thing, kill a few enemies, gather a few things, and then
jump off.
All right, I'm done
for
the day. So I really like that. And I'm excited for the new Dragon Age, but it's so far away.
Yeah, like you're looking at, what was the date?
It doesn't even have a date.
It doesn't even have a year.
BioWare currently working on Anthem. Dragon Age, long time away.
2020.
No, 2025.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, probably.
If this one's 2019, Anthem.
Anthem, you're right.
Yeah, this is going to be a long way.
22, maybe.
23 at least. But it's a long ways away. If I wanted to know what the day is coming out, where would you go?
Nerd Cave.
Yeah, Nerd Cave Plus. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We're
working on that, man.
I was like, Nerd Cave? I mean, we have so many different places.
Two that we missed on Tuesday. Assassin's Creed Origins, the Hidden Ones DLC came out on Tuesday, and Batman: The Enemy Within Episode 4, What Ails You, came out. But today, January 25th, and I'm going to just ruin this, Otmic Run Gun Jump Gun is coming out for the Switch. Dust Off Heli Rescue 2 is coming to Switch. Laws of Machines for PS4. Super One More Jump Switch. Strikers 1945 2 Switch. See, some of these don't even make any sense. The titles don't even make any sense. I don't even know what they are. Tachyon Project. I was talking about just like where it's like 1945 2. Zero Gunner 2 Switch Zigzag Go for the 3DS. On Friday, January 26th, Nintendo 2DS XL Pikachu Edition has come out. Celeste for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Dragon Ball Z, Fighter Z for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which I am really excited for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It looks really good.
the old school game. Right?
Yeah, and it's that side scroller and everything. I'm excited to get into it and fight, and it's definitely going to show up on the stream. I won't even. There's no doubt in my mind on that.
Same here.
Drift Zone for the Xbox One, Pokemon Crystal for the 3DS, which is exciting. Don't have a 3DS anymore, so that's out of place. Plus,
I have a 2DS.
I'm not going to play another Pokemon game for quite some time. Just don't have the time or the patience. And then finally, Monster Hunter World for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I'm moderately excited for that game. It looks fun.
I played the beta. Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. And you can go up to 4-player co-op on it.
That's what I was going to ask about the co-op because I know, me, Jake, Luke, Willis, Marshall, we've gotten to where we can, not game every night, but, we get on and we play some.
Throughout the week and everything.
So, I mean.
It's a difficult game. There's a lot to it, but I think it's very, very cool. And I'm curious to see how it does when it's out in the wild. It definitely does not hold your hand like a lot of games that are coming more to the West and everything. It is like straight up, this is what Monster Hunter is. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool, but to have the co-op side of it because that's a big thing, and having the monsters really like be in the world together, and the maps are huge. Like I was fighting one guy, Baroth or whatever, or Baroth, whatever you want to say, and like I was fighting him, and this huge like fish mud monster thing like started attacking it and started wrapping around it and helping me kill it, and I was like, yeah, yeah, let's do it. So I'm really excited about that one. That and Dragon Ball Fighter Z are a good way to start out the month. I know we're close to the end of the month, but I'm glad to see that. Seeing all these Switch games pop up makes me concerned that people are starting to flood the market. I know at the very beginning of the Switch Nintendo eShop that they were very protective of it, but they've put out a few pretty bad games on there, so I hope that it doesn't turn out to be like the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, definitely not Steam. Oh my God, that would be awful. So there you go, guys. There is the episode for January 25th, 2018 in the books. If you enjoyed it, please go over and like it, subscribe it, all that good stuff on the podcast services around the world. If you enjoyed the episode and you just like watching the videos, go ahead and share that too to everybody that you love and loves video games.
Very true.
So there you go. This has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a week.